Thank you for joining us on our special series, Honoring Our Veterans. My name is Jay Morales. My distinguished guest is Timothy Ross. Born in Omaha, Nebraska, and a current resident, 77 years old, served in the United States Marine Corps in weapons. Years of service, 1963 to 1969, obtained the rank of sergeant, and he was a PMI instructor at Edison Rifle Range. Deployments include Vietnam War and a recipient of the Purple Heart. Thank you for being on here today, Tim. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tim, I'm going to open up. Take me back to the day that you were, how you entered or why you entered the service.
It was 1963, right after the President Kennedy had that embargo on Cuba, and it was 5 of us that went in the Marine Corps together, all from Tech High School.
And all from North Omaha, correct?
Right.
African American, all
right.
of you. Yes, and
5
that was a big deal, but all 5 of you came back.
Right.
So let's talk about that. Were you guys just sitting around and said, let's all go at the same time, or how did this work?
Well, at that time, jobs was not many around opportunity that you wanted. Your biggest jobs you had were the packing houses.
Yes.
And didn't want to work in there. So this was an opportunity for us to get out, what we said, see the world.
Yes, see the world.
Yeah.
And you saw the world.
We seen it.
Yes. Take me back to your first day of boot camp. Where was it?
Camp Pendleton, California.
Camp Pendleton.
I was on my knuckles doing push-ups.
How old were you?
19.
My goodness. So why'd they put you on your knuckles? Was everyone doing it? Did they call you out?
The sergeant, when you first come in, drop your bags and get down, nummies and this and that. There's something new. And we started laughing because we were all athletes. But after they got through working us over, we knew what we was in for.
Yeah. Anytime in boot camp, did you ever think, what did I do?
I did.
How long? How many days into it?
Well, boot camp really lasted long. It wasn't shorter than what it is now. We were supposed to come home in November, and we didn't get through to December.
Wow. Was that the first time you flew in a plane?
That was the first time I flew on a jet.
Okay.
True.
Yeah.
And it was a really experience because we landed Omaha to Denver to San Diego. And I recognized a guy on the plane and come out to be Sonny Linskin.
Oh, yeah? Tell me.
Yeah, he had a fight. Remember, he fought Patterson.
Oh.
He was on the same plane with us, but he was sitting up front, but I recognized him.
Oh, yeah?
Got to shake his hand.
That's cool. Did you tell him what you were doing?
Well, he kind of looked at us and seen we had our hair already cut short, so he knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Something you learned about yourself immediately in boot camp when you first joined the Marines. I mean, that's a devil dog right there. That's the devil dog's world.
Especially when they tell you, I'm your mother, I'm your daddy now, and your butt belongs to me.
Yes, I mean, you know what's funny is you start believing that stuff. Like what?
It was a new experience.
Yeah. Did you leave a girlfriend behind or a wife behind? Or
I left a girlfriend behind.
Oh yeah, promised, said, hey, we're going to be together forever.
Got a dear John.
You got a dear John. See, you know what? That happens to a lot of people. I'd say a lot of people, and you know the distance and the understanding. You know, and it's the lack of contact. We get that. So let's talk about this. That was what year? That was 1963. 1963.
1963.
Right? Wow. And when you joined, how did you feel? Because there's different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different religions, tall, short, black, white, Asian. What did you feel from a inclusion standpoint when you first joined?
Well, at that time, you kind of look around and try to pick somebody out that you feel comfortable with. But in the Marine Corps in boot camp, you're just one big family, so you help out one another. He's weak in that. You try to help him, but you're weak in that because you have platoon competition, which is really important.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that. And if there's a few things here's one of my questions is, what are some of the things you learned most about yourself? What did you learn about Tim in that evolution of boot camp and maybe your first year in the military? What did you learn about yourself?
I learned more about respecting myself and respecting others and honesty. Honesty was really important because if you wasn't honest in there, you might as well say that.
Respect is such a strong word.
It is.
It's thrown around too much today.
It's something that you earn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's something you pay homage to when you see.
Right.
Respect is deserved. And I think people today are living in a cloud, of just going through motions. And I think the word respect is just so overlooked. And I want to talk about the word discipline. Tell me about that. What comes to your mind when I say discipline?
Discipline is something that, like once you give an order or something, you either do it or you don't. But you feel proud of yourself that this person came up to you and asked you to do something. And there may be 50 others around there, but he picked out you. So you feel real good about that. And you learn, if you get up there, that you learn for him what you could do for others. It's respecting people. And,
yes.
And that's something that you earn.
And you feel good to be counted upon.
You feel real good. You're like, hey, out of 50 people, I'm number one. Wow,
right. Or at least the one that'll do the work, right?
Right.
Tell me about the hardest time ever in boot camp or just your first 90 to 100 days, 120 days. Something hard.
I say it was something hard was when President Kennedy got assassinated. We were in boot camp.
Bring me back to that. How did you hear? What were you doing?
We were getting ready to go through the gas chamber.
Oh, yeah.
Where you get your gas
mask.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely.
And then they raised a white flag that everything was stopped. So for 2 weeks, we didn't do anything. And only ones that could leave the base were the ones that were married and stuff. But us in boot camp, we couldn't go no place for 2 weeks. So our training was set back.
Yeah.
And then when they found out that Osmond was a Marine, they had off limits to L.A.
Oh.
They figured it'd be retaliations on some Marines that
yes.
And he was a sharpshooter, so he was a good shot. So that I was in that, so that set everything back.
Yeah. So politics aside, you heard Kennedy was assassinated. What did you think of our president at the time? Or did you think about our president? Or were you just 19 and not thinking about it?
When we graduated from boot camp, he was down there, him and his wife. And, there's over maybe 4 battalions, graduation day.
Yeah.
And he was going through the 1st battalion. So I was in the 2nd row, so I got to glimpse him.
Oh, wow.
So that was on it. Then a couple of weeks later, then he got assassinated.
Wow.
That's something I always remember,
Yeah. I mean, I think when I hear stories from people, they remember where they were that day.
Right.
And so as you grew up in the ranks, as you started developing your career, take me to take me to the Vietnam War. Where was your part, and how did you serve in it?
We hit Vietnam in '64. We had good training. Our training then was really good. We worked as units and stuff. And we were sick and tired of training that we were ready to go someplace and get out there because training was really hard.
Right.
And we went to school. We landed in Hawaii, Okinawa. From Okinawa, we went to Vietnam, and we had to go through jungle training in Okinawa. So we were ready when we got there, but we really didn't know. Being young,
yes,
and maybe dumb, if you want to say it.
Sure.
We were ready, and then we found out what we was getting into. But we are trained as a unit. I know you may be in a different unit. So it was hard on some of us when we lost somebody. We would tell who got shot or something. But when they started that rotation, bringing in new people that we call Wonder Boys.
Wonder Boys. Okay.
Because they went to training so fast and not the training that you went through. My outfit was the last training where you could go through maltreatment. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And nothing happened. And these guys were Wonder Boys. Some of them knew something, some of them didn't.
Wow.
And it seemed like you had to babysit them.
Yes. And
take care of yourself. And that rotation hurt a bunch of us.
You know, Tim, I never thought about that, right? So there's you, fully trained, ready, done the right way, slowly,
right,
intensely. Then they're like, well, we need more bodies.
Right.
So these people got pushed through a square peg with a round hole, right?
Right.
And so that's part of the things that probably made it harder on everyone, like you said.
It did, because you had to train them. You had to train them, so they'd be up to you. And when we went to Da Nang, we had steel pots.
Oh, yes.
And when some of them came down in 66, they had all this plastic.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember we was on a helicopter, and I took my steel pot off, and I sat on it. And a bunch of them started laughing. I said, okay, wait till shrapnel hits. You'll find out. And then my steel pot was worth money. Some guys wanted to buy it.
Yes, so I didn't even think about it. That's nowhere in history books where think about it. You're flying over, you sat on it, so in case bullets went up. I wouldn't even think of that.
And lots of them had plastic, and I told them, I said, well, you'll find out.
if it works. So you get out of a plane, again, from Hawaii to Okinawa and Okinawa to Da Nang, is that right?
We went on a ship.
On a ship. Okay, on a ship.
San Diego to Hawaii, Hawaii to Okinawa, and then went on a ship from Okinawa to Da Nang.
So ship opens up to Da Nang. You get on land. What is Tim thinking as he's walking on to Da Nang for the very first time?
The Army was there, and they had the Air Force base, so it really wasn't too much
jungle yet.
No jungle yet.
Okay.
It was just looking nice until we got where we had to get our base camp was, and
off base.
Off base. Then things looked different.
So talk to me about that. So you leave the comfort of the base and cement.
No, we left the comfort of the ship.
Of the ship, I meant. That's right. So tell me when you started going, uh-oh.
Well, it really, at first, we were around about maybe 6 or 7 miles from Da Nang, where our base camp was, and you set up your perimeter and your guard duties and stuff and have to go out on night watches. But where we were at, there were foxholes there that the French had did. Some of us slept in them foxholes.
Yes.
And we found out the French was winning the war, but they were too lazy to get out and run patrols. Wow. So they just sat in the foxholes.
While you went on patrol?
We went on patrols. That was Army, Navy, Marine, whatever you had. We went on night patrols. The hardest thing one night, our officer lost or forgot the password.
Oh, the challenge word. Yeah, so
we had to spend the night in the fields because our own men would open up on us.
yeah.
No password.
Right, because when they say what's a password and they don't know,
Right.
you're the enemy instantly.
Right.
Yeah, they would have lit you up for sure. On patrol, what were you wearing? What were you armed with? Do you remember that?
M14 rifles, a machine gun. A squad would go out. You'd be a mixed up squad, but in your company, we went on patrols.
What did you carry else? Any other munitions on you, like grenades or?
We had grenades and
Yeah.
stuff, but mostly at night you wanted to travel light. You just took your ammo, your rifle. You don't want to be all worn down.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. You're about 20 years old then.
I turned 21 in Vietnam.
Okay, so you're there for your 21st.
But you didn't think about birthdays.
No, of course you didn't think about anything.
No.
What was prevalent in your mind there?
I say I had guard duty and a couple others. I was a Lance Corporal. No, yeah, I was a Lance Corporal, E3.
E3.
And always you have like a garbage dump, where the military throw the food.
Yeah.
And we had guard duty down there, and I couldn't find out why are we having guard duty where the military throws food. And the villagers would come out, and they would have to wait till the village chief come down there and do a prayer or something, and then they would come in and get the food that the military
threw away. Wow.
I said, man, I really couldn't believe it. But yeah, they would come out and go through the food and get I said, oh, man.
And this is discarded food, right? Food that's been thrown away.
Yeah, food that some guys don't eat in a tray. And they throw it away. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was kind of sad.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Take me to the hardest part of patrol, or
I really didn't have the hardest part of patrol. I say one of the hardest part I had over there when I could have shot one of my own men and nothing would have happened to me. We were set up probably west of Des Moines, one of them Ken Village, I think. I can't remember all the villages. And on my gun watch, I usually tell them that if you have to go out and wake somebody up and let them know. And I just happened to wake up that night and look over, and I seen nobody was on the gun. That was gun 6. And I happened to look back, and I seen this figure coming. And over there, you can't see nothing black, white, green, or what color.
Right, it's all silhouettes.
Yep.
Yes.
And I happened to say, Prince, is that you? He said, yeah, Ross. I said, man, don't you know I almost shot you?
Wow.
And nothing happened. That was really hard. I still think of that sometimes. Then I wonder what he's doing. I know he was from Kansas City.
Yeah.
He was kind of cocky, but he was a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. You remember those people, especially.
I remember that. That was pretty hard.
Do you take me back to a time where fear struck your heart and you just overcame it because of your training or who you were?
I really didn't have. I think my training was the best I could, because I remember when I first got shot and stuff, I knew just, what to do. Wasn't too bad.
Tim, is it okay if you take me back to that day, or?
I take it back to the secondary, because that's when I was really messed up. We were supposed to set up an ambush, and the Army was supposed to be south or west of us, driving the Viet Cong out.
Yeah.
Well, either something happened, and they were late, and we got overrun. That's when I got hit the second time. They hit us with They hit us with motors. They were pretty good motor crews on them 81s because they didn't have the bipads to put them in. They just carried them and aim and shot them.
Wow.
So they were really trained. They were really trained. They overran us. I got shot then. I got air vac by helicopter to our base hospital. And a day later, I got transferred to Da Nang. From Da Nang, I went to the Philippines for a day, and I landed in Chesapeake, Japan, Air Force Base.
Yeah.
And I got transferred to Yokosuka. That's the largest naval base over there in the Pacific. I was there almost a month. I was shot in the back.
Wow.
Shot in the neck, you couldn't even see my neck. It just looked like my head was sitting on my shoulders. I was swelled. I was paralyzed there. I was there. And then I started getting a little feeling in my left hand. From there, I went to Chesapeake, monsoon season, so they couldn't get no planes in or planes out. But when they did, I went to Chesapeake. They flew us to Frisco.
San Francisco?
Right.
Yeah.
And from there, that morning, I went to one of them bases outside of Great Lakes.
Okay.
And I was there at Great Lakes and went on from there. I started recovering, but I never did full recover.
Sure.
That's about it.
I can't imagine. I want people to know and understand. Sometimes they just see it on a license plate. Sometimes they see it, some guy wearing it or some guy having a bumper sticker or something about the Purple Heart, right? Talk to me about what that means to you.
Well, I never did think about myself. I just think about others. Like if you earned it, you got it. I know what it is because I've been in the military. Lots of people that hasn't been in the military, they don't understand it. But we got so many different license plates today, so
yeah, that's true.
With everything on it, different.
Yes. So let's talk about this. What do you want George the civilian to know or Shelley the civilian to know about the Purple Heart? If you could say, hey, when you see this, and it's not about beating on your chest, okay? I just want you to know to help educate them because they do not know. What would you say, or what do you want them to think about?
Right now with this generation going on and what it is, if they ask you about it, I said, well, then you can explain them in your own way. But I don't think I would go out and talk about it because they don't understand it. And I don't think they want to hear it right now because the world is developing so fast that, oh, you served in the military. Oh, my grandfather did a long time ago. Okay, thank you. Bye. And that's it.
Yeah, see, that's important because there is this era of probably started in my mind 9 to 10 years ago where, oh, Tim, thank you for your service. They don't even really sometimes know what they're saying.
Right, that's true.
And you just really articulated this well for me because I see it. Oh, yeah, well, my sister's cousin across the street was, I want people to know that you can't compare your military service and mine or to you and it's good that you have ties and bonds, but I think people need to listen more.
Well, I think some of them do, but it's like educating them.
Yes.
And I think a bunch of them don't want to really hear because of what the world's going through today, and that throws it off. But I think most of them do, because when I'm in my honor guard uniform in the stores I go to,
Yes.
people say, thank you. I said, well, thank you too. Thank you for your service. I said, well, thank you for your support. I said, well, we couldn't have did it without support.
That's true.
A lot of people back home, I think they get lost. I think if you wanted to educate them, you have to tell them, like, I was over here doing this, but we had support from home.
Right.
And lots of military personnel don't know if they have support or not. They think you're in there just alone.
Yes.
But it's just really hard to say right now.
Yeah. No, I understand. Talk to me about patriotism. When you hear the word patriotism.
Well, I think patriotism really starts at home. I don't think it would be, well, you could say a serviceman. Yeah, he was patriotism. But I think it starts at home from the support.
Yeah.
From his family at home. And then a lot of them realize what Uncle Joe's going through and stuff. So that's where I think patriotism, it starts at home.
Okay.
And once the service military personnel sees that this is going at home, that we got support. Because a lot of them say, well, if they get through us, they're going to get home. And we got support from home that as they get home, the home's going to fight, just like they're doing now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's something that just comes out of you. You may have it, and you say, I don't have it. And then you find out that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you got out of the military, Tim, things were different back then.
Yeah, things were different.
Really different.
Yeah, they were really different.
So bring me back to, you're done, you're honorably discharged, you're back home. Bring me back home, and that was back in '69.
Yeah, well, back then it was a little different because you would have riots and
Yes.
a bunch of military personnel was scared to wear the uniform. I had friends that get spit on and stuff, called baby killers. And
Yes.
I remember there were some places I went, they say, hey, he's crazy.
Yeah, they labeled you as crazy because you went to Vietnam.
Right.
They said all his marbles aren't
Yeah.
there. How did that make you feel, Tim? Like,
After a while, I didn't pay it no attention.
but it did jar you.
It just pissed me off because they didn't know nothing. They heard somebody else say it, so they were mostly copycats, and they were doing it too. Don't mess with him. He's crazy, I'm telling you. Oh, that's a bad, no. Because you don't know what he's going to do. He may wake up at night and start shooting.
See, it's what's funny is it's not funny because people talk like this.
Yeah.
Still.
Right.
Oh, there's Tim right there. Don't look at him. Tim, you're a human being just like I am.
I am.
You served your country and you volunteered so many would not have to. And ultimately, you almost paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that for 1 second. And I know, Tim, you don't sound like someone that talks about yourself, but I want you to know that when I see someone like you who has given so much of themselves, it moves me. It moves me inside, and because I know what it means. And so I want you now to be able to express generations to come. What do you want them to say about Tim? What do you want them to think of Tim? Now, I'm not asking to toot your horn. I just what lessons do you want to pass on?
Well, like the lessons I pass on to my family, I tell them, just don't worry about it. Like I lost my wife 3 years ago. She's at Omaha National Cemetery. That's where I'll be going. I said, something happens to me, and I imagine there's other military personnel that feel like me too. I said, just get me there. They know what to do, and forget about it. I don't need the family. This is the way I feel. I don't need nobody there.
Why do you feel that way, Tim?
As my, I call her my older sister. She's under me. She's the oldest of my sisters.
Yes.
And she would say, Timmy, you always been like that. I think it's the way it came up back in the 40s and stuff, as being the oldest. She said, you didn't want nothing for Christmas because I wanted my. I think this is the way you brought up.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids today wasn't brought up like we have. A good whipping didn't hurt you.
Right. You're still here, right? Matter of fact, probably pulled you through the jungle, right?
Right. And today's generation, sometimes I just don't care about.
I understand.
Because everybody I see is.
Yes. Thumb warriors and on the cell phones, and their heads are in the clouds.
And I think there's just a lot of communication gaps that need to be closing, but lots of people don't want to hear about it. Got lots of work to do, regardless of what.
Yeah, it's true, and I think you're saying it pretty gently. I mean, you're being very polite about it. What's something that has been on your chest, maybe that you just, hey, I need to say this? Anything? Like
sometimes I hear people talk. I don't go to bars like I used to.
not running around town, huh, Tim?
No.
A little long in the tooth. Yeah.
I hate to see somebody get up there and start blasting what he did and this and that and this.
Oh, when they talk about their service and what the macho of it, right?
You know darn well that he didn't do it. I hate to see braggers. I should just tell it like it is, man. You served no matter what you did. I don't care if you was a cook.
Right.
I couldn't eat if you didn't cook.
That's
so
right.
we're all in here together. But you got them like that. That's the way the world is. You got a lot of people say I did this and ain't did a damn thing.
Right. Common in your talk, Tim, today, what I hear is a lot of it doesn't matter if you served here or I served there. You supported me. Don't brag about your service. Just you served if you were a cook or an artillery. I like that about you, Tim. And so here's what I want to ask you, and this might stir up a little bit. What do you think today when you see someone with stolen valor, when they claim they're in the military and they didn't?
We had some up here that we supported. When I was captain up here, we have so much money as military personnel comes in and car breaks down or something. So I got some money out and went over here, gassed him up, got his tire fixed. He had a family in it, and come to find out that he wasn't in the military at all. But he knew about this. I don't know how he knew it, but he knew it.
Sure.
But there were people here at the post that didn't even know about it, that we had funds set up to help veterans. You just got to show your military ID card.
Yes.
It was military. It was false, but it looked good.
Oh my gosh.
So
what does that do for you? Like, what did that do for you?
It really pissed me off, because I figured that if somebody really came in there and needed it, and I don't have the money to give it to them,
right?
Because I gave it to somebody that, well, this happens in life, so you live and learn.
So, Tim, it goes deeper than that for me, other than just gas in a car. Okay, so here's what I'll say.
He just took advantage.
Right. Well, some of your brothers and sisters died in that uniform, and you have someone claiming, oh, I got a Purple Heart here, or I got a medal of, some distinguished valor, right? There are people on this earth right now doing that.
Right. There's a lots of them.
That you served to protect freedom of speech. What was that? I'm not calling that freedom. I'm calling that stupidity, right? I'm calling that disrespectful. What would you say to somebody right now who's lying about their service?
I can't say it on here.
You can. You can. I don't care.
Well, we have them come up here at the post, and they'll say they've been here or they've been there, and we know darn well that they're lying. Some of the guys get mad. I just leave it alone. I said, well, we know he's lying, so let's don't worry about it. But some of them really get violent and want to do something to him.
Yeah.
And I just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Because I really don't want to get in it.
Yeah.
You know, because
I understand.
It hurts me. I lost a lot of friends over there, black, white, Spanish stuff, and it hurts me to see somebody lying to say they did this, and doggone it, they ain't did nothing, and you lost buddies over there.
Right. That's what I think about.
Yeah.
I think about the blood spilled and how somebody wants to play Halloween and wear a costume. It's not Halloween to me.
Nope.
Is
you got them like that, so I really don't have the answer.
Yeah, no, I understand. Your energy changed. You know, I can feel what you're feeling right now, and I appreciate you.
You see, like I do have a. I've been doing this for almost over 20-some years. Like, if you come in my front door where I got my 2 cats.
Yep. I
have my pistol right there.
Oh.
I don't put it away unless you come, then I would take it and
put it down
beside me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when my daughters come or my grandkids come, I'll put it aside. Otherwise, it stay there. When I go to bed, it's right with me.
You stand at ready.
Yeah, I keep it ready.
Yeah.
Because this world is crazy today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only thing I like to do, you know, I've been quitting honor guard for the last 15 years.
Right. Yeah, you're going on your 16th now, right?
I'm going on 20. And I like some more people that would get involved with the VFW, the American Legions, or whatever you got, you know, to get involved and find out. I have one of my buddies. There's only 3 of us left. 2 are gone, and I buried them. Military honors.
Was that from the Big 5? Is that?
Yep.
Yeah, the Big 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One in California and 2, and Richard and I are here. There's only 3 left out of the Big 5. They don't, and that's what he said pisses me off. We still argued about that, and we're good friends, best of friends.
Yes.
He thinks everybody at the VFW are all drunk. He said, all the military people are all drunk. I said, no, they're not. No, they're not.
No. I joined because I want my generation to honor your generation by keeping this flag standing.
Well, I hope we do keep it. I had a hard time adjusting myself, and I had to do some deep research to find out, I think right now, that they're wearing Air Force uniforms because they don't have no uniform. I had a hard time adjusting to this.
Oh, yes. Oh, the Space Force.
That lots of us do that are my age. We got Army, Marine Corps,
Air Force, Navy,
Coast Guard.
Yeah.
They ain't did nothing. That's what I'm saying. Now, I haven't even seen none around. I've been out the office,
Right.
but I do know that they're wearing. They're supposed to be wearing Air Force uniform. They haven't. I got it. It hurts me because they haven't been in the war because they knew.
Yeah.
Hell, they ain't did any damn thing yet.
That's a whole nother topic within itself. But Tim, I do want to land this, and there's a question that I want you to land us on. Okay, so I know you worked at the VA, and I know that that right now our veterans today, our brothers and sisters, are hurting with mental challenges, mental illnesses, one day away from doing the worst thing in the world. Can you kind of give them some encouragement right now?
Get help.
Well, it sounds easy. What do you
It
mean?
is easy. All you got to do is give it. They don't want to go through the process. The process sometimes is long and hard, and you're there all day. You got to go to the lab. You got to go X-ray. Maybe if they could speed that up a little,
Okay.
get some people going. But when they spend all day at VA, I have before too. It's a long process where you say, oh, they ain't doing no good. I ain't going out there no more. They're telling me to come back. They're telling me to take this, telling me to take this. Some of the problems since I've been out there, and I've been going there since the 60s.
Because you're actively going right now for your injuries.
I've been going since the 60s for my injury. You got to get somebody you feel comfortable with.
Yes.
They say, oh, they gave me another pill. I ain't going out here. I'm going to go to a private doctor. I got to pay this. Got to pay that. We got good doctors out there, but they don't stay. They leave. I know. I seen a bunch of them leave.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Right. But if you don't know what you're doing, take somebody with you. Take your wife with you, or take your daughter or son-in-law.
Do you think they can come here to the VFW to seek people that might push them in the right direction? Is that fair to say? Not everybody's going to have the same path. Some will drive themselves there. Some will talk about it for 5 years.
Right.
Some will say, you can't drag me there. You know, what do you say to those people?
I said, well, look at me. I said, I know what you're going through, but if you want to get help, the help is there for you. But right now, a bunch of them just gave it up. They want to be left alone.
That hurts a lot, and I can tell you, there's a epidemic of veterans who have PTSD and undiagnosed conditions. Yeah,
I got like on my, I even got jungle rot, walking in them rice
from
paddies.
the boots.
Yeah, from the boots.
Jungle rot. Yeah.
So a bunch of them over there. Well, some guys are still fighting for it. I put in for everything. I did it early.
Yeah. That's another thing. So your advice is do it early.
Right.
Get it done right now. Don't wait. Last minute and a half. What do you want to say? Is there anything you want to say, maybe as it pertains to when you see a veteran? What do you want people to know?
Well, when I talk to another veteran and I listen to him and I tell him what I went through and he tells me he went through, and by talking to him, I find out that some of my injuries ain't that bad. There's somebody else that's hurting too, hurting worse than you. He may have some advice to me. It's just, I think veterans just feel more comfortable talking to another veteran. And if they could sit down and talk to a veteran that has been through this,
Yes,
they probably get a better understanding. Because, I went through a lot out there.
Tim, you still seem to be a leader of men, and you definitely participate in the community.
Oh, no, I was in the community watching stuff. Like right now, I think that when the only thing I got is Honor Guard, because when I lost my wife, then I had to retrain myself to do things, to do the bills and stuff.
Yes.
And believe me, it wasn't easy. I got a daughter coming over sometime this afternoon
to help you.
yeah, that helps me. But I know I need help, and she comes over and helps me. I don't like asking for help.
Right.
I think I could do it on my own, or I'll do without. But and because they got a life too, and they all say, "Dad, I'll just tell me I'll come over and help you. I'll go to the doctor with you. I have surgery. Well, one of them takes me to the doctor." But at first, I just didn't. I could do it. I said I could do it. Oh, okay. I'm a Marine. I could do it. I can do it on my. I don't need your help. Let me do it.
I see it coming out. I see the devil dog coming out right now.
And you know, I know damn well that I can't do it.
Tim, I'm incredibly grateful
Yeah.
for our time together, and I hope to get to know you over time. And your story is, while it's your own, it is not unique to your brothers and sisters. You're surrounded by good people here, and number one, though, is thank you for your service to this country.
Good people here. They hate me.
well, they need somebody to get them riled up. We're grateful to you, Tim, and I want to thank you.
Well, I want to thank you, too, for having me, and I hope that, you know, can help, and I hope this book, they're putting together a book, that'll be number 2 for the Library of Congress.
That's right, because the first one is, you're right here in this one, right?
Yeah. You should see my picture I've got at home. It's big.
Oh, is it the one in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll make sure that we try to include that in your biography there. But Tim, you are truly one of the greatest that have walked this earth.
No, I hope it can help.
Yes.
I can hope it help. I hope the books goes through.
Yep. This will be submitted to Library of Congress for sure.
Well.
This will be your second time in it.
Yeah. I got some news for them, too.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.